Welcome to Rise the Healing Summit. We are here live. It is time to reclaim, ignite, strengthen, and evolve. That is what Rise the Healing Summit is about. Let's kick off by sharing where you're from and saying a big hello to get the energy started. Hello, Lee April. Good to see you. Yes, where are you from? Go ahead and put it in the comments. The more you engage in the chat and the more comments, the more the energy is going to flow. And I want us to really invite the speakers here today because they're ready to provide. They're excited to be here for you. And I know you want to give them a big hello, a big shout out, and please do so. We encourage it. We encourage engagement. So Lee says, oh, it's Lynn. Okay, from Canada. Nice to meet you, my dear. I'm so glad you're here. Please do tag somebody. If you're on Facebook, you could tag somebody if you want them to join us here. Okay, and at least I think you can. So invite the people that you love and know that would like to rise along with you. I know we have a lot of people here today. Suzette, hello from New Hampshire. So wonderful to see you. I'm just going to look who else is here. Let's see. All right. So we have got a pretty big day today. And I'm very excited because we have a great lineup of people. But let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am Deepal Shah. I am your guide to transformation and the mastermind behind Rise the Healing Summit. I help empaths like yourself ignite the healer within by teaching my step-by-step process to quantum body awakening modality. And if you ever dreamed of starting your own spiritual practice, business, I am your go-to expert because I'm here ready to make it a breeze for you. My passion is to empower empaths and highly sensitive souls to step into their power, use their voice, and fulfill their purpose. And I know that each and every one of you is ready to step into that purpose. So congratulations for taking the first step and joining Rise. Hello, Crystal. Good to see you. Yes, the email for the free gift is deepalshah@anandaforlife.com. And actually, why don't we just give you, yesterday I didn't hand out free gifts. Well, I handed out an MP3, but why don't we invite you to the VIP, okay, behind the scenes. How would you like that, Crystal? And we're going to go ahead and send you the VIP link so you could join us in the VIP room. You could connect with the speakers. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so we will pick out winners every single day. So you have to be live in order to win, okay? Now, like I said, thank you for showing up. Are you ready to take back your power? Are you ready to start a new story in your life? Are you ready to have more fun and let go the stress? What about create more money? Well, you're in the right place because that's what I used to tell myself. And sometimes I still find myself saying, hey, you know what? I would love this. I desire this because as humans, we never give up on our dreams. And I highly recommend that you don't give up your hopes and your dreams. And that's why I created Rise the Healing Summit, to bring back that motivation that you have within you. And honestly, I feel like that is your innate ability. That is one of your abilities. Okay. So what if you can have all of what you want and more? Right? Write in the comments. Yeah, I already see. I think it's Vivika. I hope I'm saying your name right. Yes, I'm ready. Al says from Malaysia. Wow, that is exciting. Very, very exciting. So the more engaged you are, we are going to choose those of you who are engaged and ready to rise. We are going to choose some of you and give out free VIPs today. So let's get the energy flowing. All right, guys. All right. So for those of you who, yesterday when you joined us, whether you joined us live or whether you watch the replay, we had some powerful speakers. Lisa Gar helping us to become more aware. Keith Leone sharing with us how the body can heal itself. Donna Campbell, who was sharing with us how to create more money in our lives. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Did you guys enjoy that? Hello from Germany. So wonderful to see you. So, Lynn, the way you get the free VIP is being the most engaged, okay? And being here live. So we will announce in just a little bit. All right, so let's see. Who enjoyed yesterday? Suzette says, I'm ready. Ready. Yesterday was awesome, says Nicole. Yes, it was. It was amazing. It was amazing. Hello from London. Hello, Manisha. So I'm just looking at all of the hellos and so wonderful. I'm just looking at Facebook. I know we have a lot of people here. So we are just going to tune in even more today and refine what we learned from yesterday. Okay. Let's see. Now, I know we like to implement the tools that we learn from the speakers. I mean, who doesn't? And I hope you started already implementing that in your life. Share with me exactly. Donna says, yesterday was serendipitous. Yes, it was. Go ahead and share with me what you have integrated in your life and how your life has changed in just 2 days, because today it's going to be magnified. I promise you that. Okay, so right, Dorothy, yes, it was a fantastic day. Tell me what has shifted. What have you integrated in your life? What did you learn that was new? Okay, because I want to hear from you. I love reading books, guys, but the experience is completely different when you're in this room, when you're connecting with these luminaries and thought leaders, and basically they are our cheerleaders, right? Don't you think they're our cheerleaders? To be quite honest, they cheer us on. They make us feel good. And you have the incredible power to rise. Throughout this week, we have today. And we have 2 more days to rise. And I want you to absorb everything from our speakers, what they're bringing to you. Take notes. I mean, I've got my paper and my pen ready. So I've been taking notes too, because it's making me realize that how can I be more stronger, braver, and more powerful than I was yesterday? Yeah. Donna Lisa says, starting my celery juicing. Yes, good. I'm glad we're starting to take even the small steps. That's what RISE is about. And I urge you to fully engage, to fully be present, to take the seat in the front row. And that's why we're giving away a few VIP access tickets. Okay, for those of you who are fully engaged and want to really sit in the front row seat, make sure you write VIP in the comments so we know that you do want the VIP access, right? We're manifesting here. But we also have VIP access for everybody. All you have to do is sign up with the link that Tiffany is providing. With the VIP access, you get 20 plus bonuses. You get 15 minutes purpose call with me. You also receive lifetime access to all the replays. And you get to connect with the speakers. You get to talk with them live, one-on-one. Just imagine what that would feel like to talk to Lisa Barnett, to talk to Carrie Keen, to talk to Dr. Joe Vitale, and all the speakers that we have coming up, Deborah Poneman, Nancy Levin. We have some amazing speakers coming up, and I would love for you to connect with them one-on-one. So, Tiffany, put the link for the VIP if somebody would like to go ahead and grab their VIP offer right now. And we're also giving 50% of the VIP to help Children's Scholarship Fund. So underprivileged children can go to college and rise and fulfill their dreams and purpose as well. They are our next generation, and we want to help them. Okay? So go ahead and join RISE right now at VIP, all right? And let me just look at something that I just wanted to share. Okay, so the VIP behind the curtains is 1 to 2 p.m. This is where you get to join. Also today, Mark Romero is going to be here, and he's our musician. He's got his guitar, and it's going to be awesome. Like, I'm already getting goosebumps, and I hope you guys are too. um, so make sure that you sign up for VIP. And Dorothy says, thanks for the VIP status. Yes, so we are going to give out a few VIP tickets today. Make sure you are putting in the comments, saying your hellos, letting us know how you're feeling. I really want to know what you have implemented in your life from the last 2 days. Yes, music is life, Suzette. And so come join Mark Romero. Amanda says, I love Mark. Yeah. So join the VIP room. We also have, let's see. Okay, the VIP. Okay, so let's pick out our VIP winners then. All right, so we have a few of you here. Let's see. Let's see where the guides take me. I always go by my what my guides tell me, where they guide me, who they guide me to. And let's do Suzette, Amanda, and let's do one more. I'm feeling a little fun today. Amanda Lynn, you are a winner. And Lynn. All right. Lee April. So my assistant Tiffany will be in touch with you. She will probably direct message you. Just make sure you look out for that. Tiffany, let me know if you can't get in touch with these people, and we will tell them where to email us, okay? All right, awesome. So welcome to VIP. We're going to be handing out more VIP, okay, throughout. So cross your fingers, invite people that you know, tag them, and go ahead and invite them here with us today. So let's talk about awakening to your soul's purpose, okay? Today, I really wanted to tap into that. On Monday, we talked about your inner senses, connecting with your inner senses and how important that is. But when it comes to your purpose, how many of you are looking to awaken your purpose? Just put yes in the comments. You are welcome, Lynn. Suzette, super excited. Thank you so much. Yes, you are welcome. So how many of you are ready to awaken to your soul's purpose? Maybe you're not doing exactly what you love to do in your life. Maybe your life is a little chaotic and it's not going on the right track. You veered off in a different direction. And maybe you don't like even where you live and you're trying to move. What you're entangled in with is something called dispurpose, right? It's this misalignment of your purpose. And maybe you feel like there's these blocks that are stopping you from experiencing your purpose. Maybe you're not experiencing the happiness. Maybe your purpose is just to be happy or peace or freedom. What is your purpose? Can you guys tell me what your purpose is? For those of you who are here, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Right? Share with me what your purpose is. And I'm going to look at our Zoom room. Yeah. Hello, Susie. Hello. Shida. Hello. What is your purpose, guys? Donna Lisa. Hello. Share with me your purpose. My purpose is to trust myself. Yes, it could be as simple as trusting ourselves, right? But how do we do that? And so I'm going to give you the step-by-step process in order to do that, right? You guys want that? You guys want that step-by-step process? Yeah, we're going to tune into that in just a minute. We all know that we are meant to do more, but sometimes we don't know what it is or what it looks like. What if we can tap into that vibration where life starts happening for you and you are able to experience that life full of abundance, joy, love, clarity, peace, purpose, everything that you have ever wanted? It is the way it should be, right? But then we sit there, we mull, and we think, what the heck is wrong with me? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with you. Okay, in the comments, I want you to put nothing is wrong with me. Everything is completely perfect with me. Put that in the comments. Everything is completely perfect with me. Okay, put it in the comments. I am perfect in every way. I am perfect in every way. Yes, Amanda. It's not about our failures. It's not about our mistakes. It's not about our faults, and it's not about our traumas. Let's stop reliving them. We're creating more of that energy than what we are meant to create. It is about turning to a new chapter in our life for once and for all. Do you guys say amen, right? It is about creating that purpose. And, I'll tell you my story. I was a pharmaceutical rep for years. And I knew, well, I didn't know, but I knew that I was meant for more. Okay. I knew it on the conscious level, but I didn't know it on a bigger picture of the subconscious, because the subconscious is more, right? 99% of us navigates through life subconsciously. So that bigger part needed healing. I laughed when my husband and my dad said that I should create my own company. They knew that I was meant for more. I was like, what the heck am I going to offer? I have nothing. How many of you tell yourselves that? I have nothing to offer. You do. You have a lot to offer. I started to search for natural ways of healing when I quit my job in pharmaceutical sales because I lost my purpose there. And I started to take care of my kids. I said, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to be with my kids. And guess what? I'm so glad I did, because it brought me to my purpose and helped me rise as a person. My health was deteriorating. I was in a dark place. I had anxiety, panic attacks. I felt like I was alone. I had to suffer for the rest of my life. Energy can be transformed. Thank God I learned that. I had no idea I could do that. So I did a lot of personal development, a lot of energy healing with other practitioners, because I wasn't a practitioner at that time. And then I learned it myself, got certified in everything under the sun. I worked with Deborah King on stage one time, and that was an amazing experience. When I started clearing all my limiting beliefs of who I was, my abilities, my potential, and stepped into my authentic self, is how I started to heal my body and my mind. And listening to luminaries like Dr. Joe Vitale, who showed me how, through The Secret, how to manifest and create that, that attraction that I needed in my life to step into who I am today. To be who I am today. Yes, I'm crazy. I am weird. Anybody else out there who's crazy and weird? Maybe people tell you. I'm like, you know what? I'll own that too, because that is me. And I love it. I love every part of me. You guys love every part of you? Yeah, Nicole says, I hear you, been there. Yeah. I love it. So I had been holding on to trauma since the age of 10, and it was very difficult for me to turn off my emotions and feelings. But when I realized I kept recreating it again and again with my triggers, I started to take action. I said, this isn't happening anymore. I'm ready for a change. If you guys are ready for a change, say change. Let's get that energy flowing. Let's change today. Yes, the VIPers, let's change. Come on, let's create change. We are ready. That's why you are here. You're present. You're making it happen for you. And I'm so freaking proud of you. When you release what's holding you back and you step into your purpose, it's such a different way of living and being. You awaken this part of you called the anandamide enzyme. It like starts shooting off in your brain and it gets activated, creating this divine bliss all the time within your mind, within your body, within your energy. And that's what I teach. I teach you that. Exactly how to do that. So remember, guys, I am doing a 3-day self-healing immersion class. Tiffany, will you put that link up? If you want to join, I'm telling you, I am going to show you my step-by-step process of what I did to get here. Okay? You'll notice that you'll walk differently, talk differently, look differently, because you finally let go the defense patterns that you've been holding on to. So let me give you some access points to today to awaken to your purpose. There's an access point that needs to be awakened. Anyone know where that is? Anyone want to guess? And I'm just going to look in our VIP room. All right. So anyone know where that access point is to our purpose? Just take a guess. Where would it be in our body? Lower dantian. Mind. Behind the neck. All right. Anybody else want to guess? You're close, Donna Lisa. You're very close. Pineal gland, heart, both, pineal gland. Well, you would think it's the third eye and pineal gland, right? You would think it's the heart. You would think it's the gut. But guess what? It's actually in the navel. There's a portal in the navel. And guess what? If you will, in order to cleanse this portal, guess what you have to do? You take oil, castor oil. Okay? You take some castor oil and you pour it in the navel. Or you take a balancing oil, all right? And you oil it, it'll absorb right through. It's like freaking magic. It like goes right through. And it's pretty amazing. And it's going to detox your body. It's going to detox that portal. It's going to detox the liver. It's going to detox the gut. And so guess what? That creates room for guess what? To allow light in, to allow purpose in, for you to connect and download what you need. That intuition. And so put your hand right at your navel right now, like just a little bit below. Feel that space here. How heavy does it feel? Does it feel dense? Manisha says ghee. Yeah, you could put ghee there, but castor oil is more of it has different properties. So you could use other oils, but try castor oil. It'll be sticky, so make sure you put something under you. But feel into this space right now. Notice how it feels. This is where you birth new things. This is where you birth your purpose. But if it's dense, if it's full, if it's heavy, if it feels like there's pressure, guess what? It's going to be hard for us to create. It's going to be difficult for us to really manifest things in our life. And it's going to be difficult to not only create, manifest, but keep in alignment with our purpose. You're going to tend to kind of, if problems keep coming to you, if chaos keeps showing up in your life and you keep saying, oh my gosh, great, there's money going down the drain again. Here I am paying these bills, right? And I can't do what I wanted to do. I can't invest in the VIP for $97 because now I got to spend $500 on fixing my toilet, right? So these are the things that come up when this space right below is clogged. But It's okay. Don't beat yourself up over things that happen, because guess what? That's why we are here, to help you, to guide you. So in order to awaken to your purpose, here are 5 things that I want you to do. Is number 1, strengthen your intuition. Every chance you get, listen to your intuition. Yesterday, I mean, and this is a simple example, okay? I am on a specific body transformation, and maybe some of you have seen my pictures. I was 114 pounds, which isn't much, but I wanted a different feel and look. I wanted more energy. And so I took on a 7-month transformation, and I started eating better. I started working out more. I started to do all these things because I put my mind to it. But what happened was, well, I went down to 97 pounds, and now I'm coming back up slowly because I need to gain muscle. I need to gain some fat back. But my body feels a lot stronger. Okay. And that's what I want for my body. That's my goal, for my bones to be stronger, for my muscles to be stronger. Well, yesterday I thought I was drinking a Sprite Zero, and my intuition kept telling me, Deepa, look at the label. You're not drinking Sprite Zero. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It was sitting there. I've seen it. And I neglected my intuition. I really did. And I know better to listen to it. But sometimes if you're like me, even though you're a medical intuitive and you've been teaching this, you'll sometimes be like, just be quiet. Right. And so what I did was, this morning when I woke up, I'm like, let me just check the label. And guess what? I just probably took a pound of sugar down my body. I should have listened to my intuition, right? So that's why I'm really going to emphasize, for even my mind, to remind myself, strengthen and listen to our intuition. It is there to guide us. It really is. I mean, last night, it was screaming and I still wasn't listening. I'm like, I'm just going to chug this down. But recognize, okay? Number 2, recognize, what is it that brings you happiness and joy, and move towards that slowly. Take little step-by-step practices, okay? Do it step by step. Do not overwhelm yourself saying, okay, I want to create a business today. So, okay, yes, that is the end goal. However, what are you going to do to get there, right? Get out of your comfort zone. That's number 3. Let's get out of our comfort zone and step into our power. Even though there's going to be some hard times, I'm not going to lie. When I created Ananda for Life, which means divine bliss for life, and hopefully you've been on my website, but it was awful. It wasn't a fun experience, but I kept going because I knew there was something that I needed to offer all of you. And then number 4 is create responses versus reactions, right? We need to be more responsive, more responsible, rather than reactive and getting angry. And then number 5 is let go. Let go the beliefs, because there are hundreds of beliefs that we all have. So when you find a belief, just clear, cancel, delete it, and watch it just vanish. When it comes up again, clear, cancel, delete it. You're going to dissolve its power. I promise you that. Okay. All right. So I don't believe that we have one purpose. I believe we're meant to do a lot more than just one thing in our lives. I promise you that every decade I've noticed that I'm meant for more and bigger. And so you are too. I took these steps to create my 6-figure company, to speak around the world on stages, summits, podcasts, and I'm able to do this, and I know you can too. I made myself get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I have many doubts and fears that come up. as I take on every endeavor, but I work through them, and I can show you how. So today I want to invite you to come play with me in the quantum field of immersing yourself in learning to heal your body. It's a sacred 3-day immersion with me where I will share with you my exact process of powerful grounding techniques, clearing blocks at quantum speed, understanding various energy systems, including the Hara line, clearing energy from energy vampires, which is going to be a bonus. And you will be practicing how to receive information and understand it with practice sessions. And in addition, you will learn how to become your own body whisperer, to heal whether you have chronic health issues, acute concerns, or if you just want to get rid of stress and have more energy. The self-healing immersion takes place June 5th, 6th, and 7th, and you will get 6 hours of live learning with me. And I promise you that your body will thank you. And there is a 14-day guarantee. So once you sign up, the 3-day self-healing immersion, as long as you do all the work, it is guaranteed. If you sign up in the next 24 hours, so we had 48 hours from yesterday, today, 24 hours, you will receive my 2 most popular programs, which is the house clearing ceremony and the karma healing program, package A. These are worth $3,500. In each of these programs, you will immediately see results in your life and start to accelerate in the direction that you want. And I want to see you rise. So I want you to take that step right now and click on the button that we have put up. It's anandaforlife.com, self-healing immersion. Okay. And take that action right now, because I really do want to watch you rise. Your life will change in 3 days. I promise. If it's changing in 5 days this week, watch what happens in the next 3. All right. So who is ready to start with our very first speaker for today? Let's see. All right. Get ready to reclaim, ignite, strengthen, and evolve with the one and beautiful Carrie Keen. She is a dream style coach. Her signature work is activating the inner dream space and manifesting acceleration using the diamond codes. Ooh, I'm so excited. That gives me chills. Diamond codes. I am so happy to have Carrie here with us today to share with us the 3 steps to manifesting the life you dream of. And it's time to listen to the desires within your heart and discover the secret to creating everything you desire. Woohoo! Let's welcome Carrie. Everybody, let's go ahead and welcome Carrie to the stage. Hello, my friend.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
So wonderful to have you here, Carrie. It's such a pleasure. And, we're here helping people connect with their dreams. You are
Mhm.
helping them create their dream life because you were almost ready to give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
So, what's your story and how did you rise to become such a success?
Well, I mean, first of all, I loved what you were sharing with everybody about, doing the work to get the things that you want in life. And um, so my story began with losing everything, essentially. I was married to a man who emotionally abused me, and I was working full time as a school teacher. And, I had the house in the country on a lake, and everything on the outside looked like it was, beautiful, and you can dress up and you can go to work and you can put on that happy face.
Yeah.
But on the inside, I was actually slowly dying. I was giving all my power away to my job. I was giving all my power away to my family, my husband. And I realized that if I were to keep going in that direction, it would lead me, basically, like at times I was like, I'm going to drive off a cliff because it hurts so bad to be me. And I called this like my bathroom moment. I also at night when my body was so broken that I couldn't work out anymore, I would soak in my bathtub, and on any given day, I would either want to go underwater and not come up, or I started to remember this other life that when I felt that energy, I was like, wow, I want that. And so I started to see these visions of a soaker tub and an ocean front. And these visions had to do with wealth, and they also had to do with love and joy and happiness and power. And it took me really understanding that this was my true reality, and that everything else that I was experiencing was catalyzing me to actually choose my inner dream. I understood that my future self was sending me these messages of like, hey, Carrie, wake up.
Yeah.
This is all for you. And once I started to open up to that opportunity, I mean, I started reading the book, The Secret. So I'm super excited to be with Joe today. And I was like, well, no, I'm going to manifest. I'm a born manifester. And of
Yeah.
course, as I started to rise up, I got met with a ton of adversity. What do you mean you're doing this? What do you mean you're going to do that? What do you mean? And it came from all different sides, people telling me that I was crazy, people trying to shut down my power. And in me believing only in myself and my future, I kept going and I kept rising. And as I rose up, I started to align with, I mean, I remember having the first intuitive reading that I had, and a woman I worked with for 7 years. And I've traveled all around the world to be an energy, a new earth, new human energy activator. I activate and unlock destiny codes. And my body of work is the God code, which is like, right now, it is time to be our own gods and understand that we have ultimate control of our reality. And so when this teacher came into my life, she said, I see you in your future and it's extraordinary. And I was like, whoa, well, I want more of that, because I felt the instantaneous connection to my future. So how I got there was in moments of challenges. I understood that there were two ways to approach a challenge. Number one, you let the challenge overcome you and you stay stagnant, and you create a reality from there, which is basically you believe in the fear and you become what the fear wants you to become. And I was like, no, I've lived that way for so long. I want to become who really, like, I beat fear. And I actually understood that, and I just did a video in my community, that fear actually, believing in fear actually harvests your vital life force energy. And so I was like, I do not want to be part of that system. And I started to hear about like new earth and prophecy and abundance and manifestation, and all in, I invested, I invested my teacher's retirement in my future. I did everything that I possibly could to put as much energy in the game of creating and manifesting my life. And so what I ended up doing was, based on a feeling that I had inside of my heart, I decided that I was supposed to co-create. I knew that I was supposed to co-create a destiny and a dream with a man. And so based on this feeling that this man existed and was also calling my heart forward, I did the inner work to align my soul with the love of a lifetime, and became a magnet so that my now husband, this is my second marriage, my now husband, literally, I remember pulling him out of the cosmos. And like, he literally showed up at my parents' front door when I was living with my parents during COVID, and basically said to me, I'm here right in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who I am? And at the time, he had been a boy that I had met when I was a teenager. And the same exact thing happened when he saw me on a boardwalk in Maine. He saw my legs and my tennis sneakers, and he said, "I need to know you." And he walked up and just presented himself to me like, "Don't you know who I am?"
Right.
And so the second time around, I had done the karmic healing on what, my karma attracted my first husband, and I had done the karmic healing, and I had evolved my heart enough to understand what kind of love I was worthy of. And I had also learned how to love a man, right? Learned how to love a divine man, which is that you have to be, I knew that I had this huge responsibility to love a soul and help to evolve a soul in a soul aligned partnership, which is where you're both doing your own inner work and opening up new realities as a couple, but also holding massive space for one another. And so that was the thing that all the naysayers, like my parents, I used to remember telling my parents, "Don't worry, I'm going to be fine. Don't
Right.
worry about me. I'm going to be fine. I know I've got this. I'm going to be fine." In all the decisions that I made to invest the money that I invested and to travel the world, that was the thing that everybody said, "Oh, wow, we look at you and your husband, and we not only look at you, but we feel the frequency field of you. And we know that this is like magic." And that was the thing that really, I had manifested like a multiple six-figure business, and I was traveling all over the world, and I knew that I was really powerful, but manifesting my dream man, where he showed up and was like, "I'm it. And if you don't see this, lady, then,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "You are it. Holy moly." And it was like, all of a sudden, all the visions and the dreams that I used to have, it was like this puzzle started to come together. And I kid you not, it was magical. And there was part of me that was like living way up here. And then the other part of me, and this is what I want to share with you, because we have to be able to do both. The fairy tale and the magic only comes when you are willing to confront the version of you that is blocking that from happening. And that's where I also had to make difficult decisions. I had to let go of things that were no longer serving me. I had to do the work, like DePaul says, on like what the person who created that broken marriage where I was a doormat and I gave all my power away. I had to do that work. And it was heartbreaking sometimes to see what I had tolerated. And it was heartbreaking because also in my divorce, my ex-husband got custody of my children. And so I lost my children. I'm a mom of three. I have three beautiful daughters. But I used that as fuel for becoming a mom who could handle anything, right? And I looked at the version of me who was fighting everything. I looked at the version of me who had to be right. I looked at the version of me who needed to be the one to be in full control. And I looked at the version of me who was creating war with my ex-husband. And I said, I can't be this person and also ask God to provide me with my dreams.
Yeah.
You can't be both. So I had to evolve from a woman who needed to control everything, evolve from a woman who was terrified of everything, evolve from the woman who was equally as controlling and angry that as my ex-husband was, because I had manifested him.
Right.
I had manifested him, and I had become him. And we were a match. And so what I decided, I want something different. That was the work. And that took 7 years, and I'm going to be honest with you, of 7 years of hand holding
Wow.
by a coach because I was so traumatized by that experience. At the same time as I released her, my essence returned, my magic returned, my own soul and spirit started to come online. And she was great.
Wow.
She was great. And that's how I live today. I still, my kids still live with their father. After realizing that I could give them power to choose, I actually allowed them to use their own voice and to decide what was going to be best for them. And they stayed in the same town and they stayed in the same school. And today we have a beautiful relationship because the version of me who was held back and basically hanging on to life by a thread is now full. I'm loved. I love myself. I'm in my power. And there's nothing better, I think, coming from a mom standpoint than being that type of role model for my children. I also have brought a beautiful love into my life. I own my own soul-based business. And I'm only getting bigger, because this is the time right now for women to rise up and actualize those dreams. And it's an exciting time. So
It
yeah,
It's a
that's
very
what's cool.
exciting time, and I am so glad that you, Carrie, are here today. And what an amazing story. I mean, I've known you for a while, and I knew bits and pieces of your story, and it's so nice to really hear the quite a full, extensive length of it.
Mhm.
And I think people resonate with it. I know some of the people are already commenting how much they do resonate with what you're saying. And
Mhm.
we all, we define our dream life differently, right? Because
Right.
we see it differently. I mean, it could be living in a hut and being just fine with it. I mean, I went to Peru and I went to the floating island in Lake Titicaca.
Mhm.
And these women and these families look so happy just living in this little place where they just had a small bed for them and their spouse, and
Mhm.
they had a smile on their face the whole time. Like it was their dream life. It was
Yeah.
amazing. People don't leave that island, you know? And it's amazing how we can create our dreams and we can continue to do that, right? There's no
Mhm.
end to
There's no
dreaming.
ending. It's
Yeah.
so what I remember as a child was always always wanting more, right? I always wanted to grow. I'm like, well, I want to be a skier. So why can't you guys hire a ski coach for me? Because I always I guess I'm the type of person who always understood that we had unlimited potential as long as we understood how to bring that unlimited potential into actualization. So for me, what I was finally giving myself permission to do was actually live who I wanted to live. Like, I
Yeah.
just won a fitness challenge. I heard that you did a challenge. Like, I just spent 3 months, lifting weights and I hired a
Yeah.
coach and I brought out the best in
Same
me, right?
here.
And I won a photo shoot. So I just got back from Canada. I got this whole professional photo shoot.
Yep.
And while I was there, I was like, this is who I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
At the same time, there were people in my life that were telling me that I was selfish for doing that.
Yeah.
And what I realized was like, when you allow yourself permission to have whatever the things are that are going to fuel you and become who you are divinely meant to be and bring out the best in yourself, there's nothing selfish about that because everybody else gets the best version of you as well. So when a woman takes care of her desires, nobody can do that for you. Even in my marriage, I don't leave it up to my husband to fulfill me. That actually would be part of like a codependency.
Right.
Um, but it's about fulfilling your dreams and
Yeah.
desires and sharing that with other people. And you become a frequency field of abundance. The other thing is like, I've done a lot of work. Like right before I met you, I think, DePaul, I had been to Egypt and I had been working on activating soul wealth codes, and I am
Yeah.
a soul wealth activator, and I help return the lost desires to you, right? Through
Wow.
alignment. And when I was at the top of the pyramid in Egypt, I became a piggy bank. My entire body and all my chakras started spinning gold, and I saw money being put into my physical body.
Wow.
And there were times in my life where I knew I would look around outside of me and say, that's the life that I should be living.
Yes.
And, but people told me that I was wrong for doing that.
Mm.
But I've had to overcome that it actually is my essence to be wealthy, because your soul is wealthy as just for being a soul. And
Yeah.
all the other things are agreements that we had with negative energies so that we could rise up and claim what is ours. So the other thing that I saw when I was in Egypt was the power of what our thoughts did with spinning us backwards. So here's the 3 steps that I want you guys to know about.
Yes.
Number 1 is, if you are reliving your past, okay, it's about learning to come to peace with the past. My ex-husband in the war, then the battle that I was in with him, showed me how to create heaven on earth and peace on earth, because I was able to come to complete peace with someone who not only tried to kill me, but took my babies, right? That was the story. I came to peace with him, and our family is now a blended family, but he's actually part of my family. And it also allowed me to see that whenever I was going back to the past, my power was being given away, so that we have power in our moment to choose our new reality. And that choosing the new reality doesn't mean you just think about that reality. It means that you actually start to create that own reality, despite what other people are thinking, despite what your fears are. You said this too, DePaul. It's like, those are the hard action steps that if you want the beautiful body, then you're going to have to go to the gym and you're going to have to stop eating crap. If you want the beautiful life, you're going to have to stop thinking the thoughts that are blocking you from doing that. And you're going to have to adopt and adapt a new mindset, a new belief system, a new inner state of being that aligns with that vision. And then when the rubber meets the road, you're going to have to take that road that's less traveled.
Yes.
And this is why not everybody gets to unlock their destiny and marry their dream mate, or create an outstanding business, or rise up during these times, because those things take courage.
They
Those
do.
things take courage. Those things take an inner belief system. And they also, if you don't have all of those things, which I didn't have any of those qualities to begin with, I was a broken woman. They require guidance, support, and hand-holding until you can be sturdy and stable enough to know that any decision that you make about your future is going to be 100% supported. It's also probably most likely going to be attacked by people who you do not resonate with any longer. And those
And
are the
mostly family members.
family members. I can't tell you how often my parents just looked at me and they're like, you're destroying your life. What do
Oh,
you do?
yeah.
And I'm like, I've got it, Mom. Don't worry about me, Dad. There were times where I just like I barricaded myself, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't listen to it. But then I also had to, I couldn't, this is a big thing too, because what resists persists. So I couldn't just keep pushing life away. And this is not what you want to do right now. You do not want to push life away. Life is going to come at you, and you have to be equipped with learning how to align that and,
Exactly.
and align it and like create something incredible. I've seen a lot of women, particularly who have been so hurt by parents and friends, that they bombard themselves and they barricade themselves, and they ask, well, why can't I create abundance? And I say to them, the number one reason why you're not creating abundance is because you don't have the relationships.
Yes.
All of those things that you're resisting, those are all those are all abundance. Those are all the
Exactly.
things that are abundance. So Yeah.
I love it. I mean, Carrie, tell you sharing your story. I mean, everybody's making these comments, these great comments on Facebook. You know, Carrie is over here speaking to my soul, says Tanya. And then, you know, there's just a lot of people who resonate with what you're saying.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that you shared this because it's more of how can we overcome, how can we get past what is the worst for us, right? What we think we're in the worst situation, and bring peace to somebody that hurt us, right?
Yeah.
We all have somebody like that in our lives. Like, bringing that peace, that must have been very difficult.
It was very difficult. And at the same time, it's like, to me, there was no other choice because what I understood is I'm talking about I liberated my soul. My
Yeah,
soul was held in a very low vibration because I was fighting my ex-husband. I was fighting my parents. I was fighting. And I understood that if this is that makes you go in the wrong direction all the time, constantly. It's exhausting.
yeah,
It was depleting me. And I understood that if I wanted an outstanding life, and if I wanted all of these things, that they were going to be fulfilled through my connection to my source, through God, but that I had to align with the will of what God had for my soul. And I understood that if God views any situation through the eyes of love, then, and I get chills right now because this is what the whole world needs to hear right now. And we need to adhere to it in a way that we have, it's going to be scary, but this is how we are going to free ourselves,
yeah,
is that we have to align with the way that God views life. And we have to view our life from that way, which is neutrality,
yeah,
which is no matter what goes on, it's going to break. It's heartbreaking. Losing my family was heartbreaking. My husband lost his wife, and my stepsons lost their mother to cancer. And at the same time, the reason why God creates loss is so that we can rise through that and we can provide some sort of comfort or word or peace or provide a service that is going to help somebody else. So when my life got called apart, it was God saying, hey, I've got you, but I've got plans for you. And you've got to trust that you can leave this reality behind. And I'm going to provide you, your family, with healing. And I'm going to provide you with the money. And I'm going to provide you with a stage. I'm going to provide you with all those things you ask for. But I need you to do this.
yeah.
Come to
And you
peace.
know what? I love that you bring that up because this morning I get an email from one of our our viewers who was going to try to be here with us, but she wrote me this email that was heartbreaking this morning, that her son-in-law had passed away. And she's like, I can't make it. I'm sorry for saving my seat. And so I want to really, I mean, I hope she hears this message from you, Carrie,
Yeah.
because, you know, my heart goes out to her and her family and her daughter. And I know we can all send some good energy to her, that they're able to find their peace. And
Mhm.
so thank you for bringing that up. Now, one of the things I want to ask you is, how can people get in touch with you and follow all the messages that you have to share with us, Carrie? Because the God codes that you bring, the diamond codes, the destiny codes, all these
These
codes.
codes, yeah, all these codes. Um, for my free gift link, it's an activation.
Okay.
So the future can be activated in your heart. You are your future, and the hidden potential exists inside of your heart chakra. This is where the high heart dream space occurs, and this is what I've been creating from. And this is a frequency that you can unlock inside of you that has your soul's purpose, your soul mate, your destiny codes, your God codes, your wealth codes. All of them are inside of you already. What my energy and frequency does is it's the ingredient to awaken from within you what wants to be created outside of you. And then my coaching programs, the God code specifically, teaches you how to use the quantum energy field and align with your highest potential and manifest destiny. So this is for people who know that they have a big calling within their heart. And I will also say this, have gone through challenging times that have really said, okay, well, I don't want to keep repeating these things. And I know that I'm worth more. I work with doctors and I work with nurses and I work with people who really are here to change the paradigm, and understanding that that paradigm exists within each one of us, and that in order to create a new earth, a new vision, a new reality, we have to create it. And the creating part comes when you learn how to take new action steps. So yeah,
I love it. So we will put the links up, the VIP. So just to let you guys know, the free offers will be for the VIP room, as you have signed up for the VIP access of 20 plus bonuses from all of our speakers. And we will also put a link to how to get in touch with Carrie in the Facebook group or YouTube, if that's where you're watching from. And so if you want to join the VIP guest room and take advantage of all these wonderful gifts that our speakers are giving, plus the 1 hour today where we're going to have fun music and a connection, a one-on-one opportunity with our speakers, you can join us at anandaforlife.com/VIP rise. So you can join there, or Tiffany has put the link to the VIP in the comments for all of those of you who are on Facebook. Thank you so much, Carrie, for being here and being the light and love that you are. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
guys, have fun, everybody.
Wow, that was powerful, wasn't it? That was amazing. And we learned so much from all of these speakers. And that's why we now have our next amazing guest. And let me know how you guys are doing. I know you're saying I resonate with this. I went from controlling mother to controlling husband. You guys have your stories. Share your stories, because I want to hear them. I will be going back and looking at all of your stories. Okay. So put them there, let it out into the universe, let it out of you so that you don't have to keep it inside of you. Okay. So you can rise. I want you to rise today. All right. So let me know how you're doing. Please do say hello in the comments. If you're just joining us, we are excited to have you here. Get ready to reclaim, ignite, strengthen, and evolve with Lisa Barnett. Lisa is not only my friend and colleague, but an inspiration in many, many ways. If you ever get a chance to work with Lisa, know that she is always there to lend a hand and guide you, because that is just who she is. Lisa is the founder of Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom, and she's going to share with us how to raise your vibration with Akashic quantum healing. How many of you guys know about Akashic records, or maybe you've heard of it? Put it in the comments. Thank you, Manisha, for welcoming Lisa. Thank you so much. Guys, welcome Lisa here, yes, to the stage. And tell me, have you guys heard of Akashic records? Have you all heard of it? And some of you may have, maybe you've even experienced sessions of Akashic records, right? Having your Akashic records read. Yeah. What about those in the Zoom room? Yeah, I did from Cry On First. Yes, I have. Yes, to Akashic readings. Okay. So some of you have experienced it. And today we're going to find out some more. So welcome, Lisa. So wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to join you today and to see all these beautiful, shiny faces and your beautiful, beautiful, shiny face. Thank you for all you do, Deepak.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Now I want to get into this because, well, first of all, I have asked everyone to share their rise story, right? Because where you are today, you had to go through some challenges in your life and experiences that we would love to know what brought you to rise, to reclaim, ignite, strengthen, and evolve to who you are today.
Wow. Well, you know, what I actually want to start by saying is that I really acknowledge each and every one of you who are here, right, including you and me, because it is a very long journey. And you know, I had my first spiritual awakening at around 3 years old. So
Wow.
I have been
Wow.
this journey for almost 65 years, right? So at 3 years old, I realized I was trapped back in a body, and I thought, no, I want to go home. So I woke up not really excited about being back. And I was very blessed to have parents who were kind of very cool about it. It's like, it's okay, honey, you're home, you know. But then in my teenage years, two of my very best soul sisters both passed in very different ways. And the first one, when she crossed, it reminded me of who I was and why I was here. So my realization at 14 years old was that I had come to be a healer. And the challenge at that point was that I felt like I should be able to heal her, and I didn't have any idea how. And so when she passed, of course, I felt kind of that guilt. Often we as healers have this kind of guilt and belief that we should be able to save everyone, which is not true. But at 14, I didn't really know that. But I started to study. I started to study spirituality. I was living in California, thankfully, and it was, at that point, it was literally the late 60s. And into the 70s, I studied all the spiritual books and information I could get my hands on. I studied philosophy at the university. And then my second best, deepest soul sister that I had lived across the street from since I was like 5, she died in a very freak car accident. And that sent me down a whole different rabbit hole. So the first woke me up to being a healer. The second triggered me into feeling really separation and abandonment and great loss. And at that point, I really got very, very angry with Source and felt, you know, why do these terrible things happen to people?
Yeah.
Right? How can this be? How could you have taken these two beautiful young women away? Right? So I was horrifically angry and really almost suicidal because I was so angry. And again, living in San Francisco in the 70s, a lot of outs back then. Right?
I can imagine.
Yeah, so you know, lots of interesting rabbit holes to go down and side paths to take, and I tried most of them. And so it wasn't literally until I was in my 30s when I got sick with chronic fatigue. And so what I've noticed on all of these kind of paths is that often a great loss can trigger us to awaken or to close down. Sometimes an illness does the same thing. It might move us into victimhood or wake us up to the infinite possibilities. And so I was blessed with the chronic fatigue in my 30s that it actually woke me up. And I had a phenomenal acupuncturist who said, you know, I can help you heal your body, but I can't help with your soul. So your soul has a message for you. That's your kind of next important step. And so I was blessed to be able to go down that road of actually starting to study with an amazing healer, like remembering that I had come to be a healer and starting to study. And then interestingly, sometime in that, you know, period, I worked with this healer for almost 8 years. And then I started to get this huge information. So I had a little healing center. I was doing readings and healing sessions with clients. And every once in a while, I get this huge expansive information about the person's soul plan and their past lives and the gifts and talents they wanted to share in the world, you know, today, and even some of the future energies and information that they'd kind of put into the future. And I'd always think, wow, that's phenomenal. I wonder what that is. Because remember, back in the 80s and 90s, really, if you haven't heard of the Akashic records now,
Yeah.
Back then,
Back
nobody
then?
had heard of the Akashic records. So I weirdly had, because my teacher had talked about the Akashic records, but she said, you can ask for energy from the record keepers, but you can't go into the Akashic records. So she was holding information from really the distant past. The Akashic record keepers told me that they had pulled the energy of the Akasha away from Earth during the Dark Ages because we misused the information for our own good, not for the good of all. So anyway, I just started learning a ton of stuff from the Akasha, and eventually the record keepers asked me if I would help them anchor the energy of Akasha, of the Akash, back on the planet, of really anchoring the Akashic records, because they said, it's time now. This is the time to bring this information back to humanity and let people know that it is your birthright to access your own Akashic library and wisdom and gifts and talents. And so they asked me to start a school, and I argued a little.
Of course.
Because I'm just that kind of person. No, I had actually 3 toddlers at the time. And I'm like, I think you've got the wrong person. I think, I'm a mom in the suburbs. Isn't there some like wise woman or, wise person out there who really is fit for this job?
Right.
Right.
It feels like such a big responsibility.
Right. And with
Right?
3 toddlers, let's say,
Yeah. Yeah.
they had twins, right? And their brother was only a year and a half older. And so, when they said, no, you are a record keeper and you can hear us. And this is your part of your soul purpose. And I said, well, can't really argue with that, can I? So,
Can you do me a favor? Well, like, I know some people might be new to Akashic records. But what does that mean? Like, what are you tapping into?
yes. So the Akashic record is the recording of your soul's journey through all time-space continuum. So if you imagine that at one point you individuated from source, you became an individuated soul, and you went on a journey. You went to other dimensions, other worlds. Many of us lived in angelic realms, and we're in the Pleiades, we're in Andromeda, Lyra, Arcturus. We've had millions of lives, and a lot of those lives actually lasted hundreds of thousands of years, because we really can be very infinite in embodied, also not in these bodies at the moment, but hopefully we're changing that. So the Akashic record is the recording of all of that, all the lives you've had in other worlds, other dimensions, other realms. And not only do you have a library, each person has their very own personal Akashic record library, and you have your own Akashic record librarians. And so you have a team of about a dozen individuated souls who are in service to only you, right? And the important thing to me is that these souls are just pure light beings. They've never been human. They have no judgment, right? So that's a huge gift. They're pure source energy, so they're pure love. And so these record keepers, we call them Akashic record keepers. I sometimes call them the Akashic masters or teachers or lords, because there's a hierarchy in the Akash also. And they work on different aspects of our library. And so different ones will answer questions kind of depending on what you're asking about. But you have a library because you are actually an ancient and very, very wise soul with many, many, many gifts and talents to share with humanity.
So can somebody do this on themselves? Like, can they tap into their own Akasha? Or do we have to have somebody guide us, like an expert like yourself?
So when the record keepers asked me to start a school, they said, this is everyone's birthright to have access into their Akashic library. It's like they said, everyone, grab your library key and open your records. And so,
Yeah.
of course, I do Akashic readings and quantum healing sessions for my clients, because for many of us, we've been stuck in these old patterns for, 40, 50, 60, 70 years.
Right.
Hundreds of lifetimes. And
Yeah.
so getting help is very, very useful, no doubt. And this is why I continue to work with clients to this day. But once we kind of hit that point where we're starting to feel a little bit lighter, our consciousness is raising, we've let go of some of the old energies that we felt were holding us back and blocking us. And then I teach people online to access their own Akashic records using the 5-step wisdom prayer system that the Akashic record keepers gave me many, many years ago. And so what they said was, we want you to have access to these vibrational keys to make it simple to move into your Akashic records. So I teach my students 8 different access prayers. They work as energetic keys, and they're from 8 different kind of starseed groups. So when the record keepers asked me to start a school, and again, I'm like, why me? And they said, because you're very galactic and you can download these starseed codes for people to use to move into their Akashic records with greater ease. And so if you're a star seed from the Pleiades or Sirius or Arcturus or Lyra or Orion, if you're angel, angelic, galactic traveler, Andromeda, there are separate access prayers which work as a vibrational key to open the doors into your own personal Akashic records. And as we're doing that, a lot of people say, so if you're thinking, I have no idea what I am or where I'm from, I want to know that.
Yeah.
Actually, in this course, it's so fun because in course 1, where I'm teaching you the 5-step wisdom prayer system, I give you 3 of the keys. So you can play with 3 of these different access prayers. And you'll learn which of the 3 starseed lineages you come from. And so you start to learn more about starseed lineages. So not only are you coming to access your own Akashic record, which is the library of your whole soul's journey, you also get a nice little download about who you are as an infinite being, as a starseed, having lived on one of these 3 planets or planes, dimensions. And then in course 2, where we continue with Akashic self-mastery, I literally teach you the other 5 of the access keys.
That just sounds magical. I mean, it's so exciting because I never really thought about Akasha and Akashic records that way. I think I did it one time and we were learning to do it on our own, but I feel like I would love to integrate this even more. So I can't wait to do something like this with you, Lisa. And the fact that you have the keys, right? That just makes it more exciting to speed up the process.
It is easier.
Speed up processes, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing. Speaking of processes, is there a short process that you could guide us through it for the next 3 minutes or so to really help us experience something like this?
Absolutely.
All right.
So I would love to bring everyone into the Akashic record field with me. And so I'll do this as a brief guided visualization, and then we'll ask our record keepers to do something. We'll see when we move into the records with the group that's here to help.
We're ready. We're ready, guys, right?
So
Say you're ready.
Yes. Let's take a nice deep breath as we invite our soul to come down more fully present into our physical body. And we ask the divine lords of unconditional love to help us center fully in this moment as we create this sacred space. Please wrap us in this love and protection and allow us to travel to the highest realms of the Akasha available to us today. Please help us relay our multidimensional hearts open to divine love and release all resistance. Lords of the Akashic Record, please guide us to the deepest truth we can access now. Support us in healing and releasing that which no longer serves on our true path. And we give great thanks for the Akashic Record Keepers' divine love and support on this journey now. Just let yourself breathe and feel. You may notice the swirly, silvery energy around you of the Akashic column of light. I know many of you are feeling your heart open even further because the Akasha is part of divine source. It is pure love. And so our record keepers say, feel the love we have for you. And as they wrap us in this almost fluffy baby blanket of divine source, light and love, this beautiful energy of protection and healing, we ask our record keepers to help us release whatever is top of our list that no longer serves us. So you may have something that pops into mind. Maybe it has something to do with your health or a relationship. Maybe it's just a block or a challenge with money or love or whatever it might be. Just take a moment and ask your record keepers who have come in and are wrapping you in this pure energy to release this with ease and grace. And I just see all of this old energy dissipating, kind of almost like it's floating away with ease. And we invite in your highest Akashic light and wisdom to come down and fill your whole body. And we ask our record keepers for an upgraded genetic blueprint, a higher vibrational physical level blueprint for your body now. And we ask the Akashic record keepers to anchor it in on a cellular level in this now moment. Just taking one more beautiful deep breath as we thank the record keepers and close and lock the records for now. And so it is. Blessed be. And I see just so much kind of rainbow light and energy in everyone's cells. They look like beautiful little, almost rainbow bubbles in your body. So lovely. And of course, it's always fun to see what you're feeling if you want to type in, right?
Yes. So, oh my gosh, I felt like my whole upper body was vibrating. It was tingling. It was pretty awesome. And that in the beginning, like my heart just got so light and then it like literally sunk. I almost felt like it was touching my diaphragm. Like it sunk. Like it was really cool experience. How many of you felt something? Like this was amazing. For those of you who are on Facebook, for those of you who are in the Zoom room, tell us how you're feeling. Come back to us. It gets quiet. It's funny. Every time we do these processes, it gets really quiet. And I'm like, hey, everybody, wake up.
Right. It takes a moment to kind of get
It does.
grounded and back in your
Great.
human, but
Yes.
Lisa said that she's immersed in golden swirls and
Yeah.
continual movement and light, which is so beautiful, because often that's really the way I see it too, is all this beautiful gold energy swirling and filling our body and our energy field with the Akashic wisdom and light is golden in my view also. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing
So
that.
Amanda says, oh, wow, I'm overwhelmed with emotion. I feel love, yet tears are streaming down my face. Cornelius is saying, I had the same with the heart sinking. Yeah. And then Al, I believe it's Al, said, full of alertness now after a tiring day. Yeah, Manisha says, very powerful. I released a lot of negative energy and did receive messages regarding health and money.
Wow. And that was in
Yeah,
like a quick 3-minute
exactly.
quick process. I hope you all grab my beautiful journey into the Akashic record, my free gift, because
Yes.
it's
Tell us.
15 minutes.
Yeah. So your free gift that you are offering, it's called what?
Journey into the Akashic record. So I literally do a longer version of taking you into the beautiful Akashic library, into the garden of the Akash, where you can bathe in the river of forgiveness. You
Oh,
can download 3 gifts that you've come to share in this lifetime and
wow.
really step into the Akashic records.
Awesome. So if you are in the Zoom room, you have the VIP access, which will allow you to access Lisa's free gift offer. And then is there anything that you have coming up, Lisa, that you want to share with our viewers?
I would love to, absolutely. So I have an Akashic record home study program, which makes it easy for everyone, no matter where you live in the world. So I teach you in this 12-hour program how to use the 5-step wisdom prayer system that the Akashic Masters have given us. It teaches you 3 of the star seed access keys and prayers to move into your Akashic records. And so there's quite a bit of teaching, of guided visualizations to call your energy back, to create a beautiful rainbow shield for yourself, to do processes and practice opening and closing and accessing your records and getting information. So it is a phenomenal place to start if you're interested in learning to really step into this work more fully and access your own Akashic records.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. We do have the link for the VIP if you want to hop on for our next guest that is also here already. And I want to thank you, Lisa, for your time, for helping us to tap into our records and really being the light to this world. Thank you so much for all that you do. And so it's been an honor and pleasure.
Thank you, Deepal. It has been beautiful. And thank you, everyone, for joining us in this energy of the Akasha. And I look forward to seeing you again soon in one of my workshops.
And will you be joining us at 1 p.m.?
I have a client at that time, so sadly I will not.
No worries. We hope to see you soon. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So now is our time. I know many of you have been waiting for this specific gentleman who I am very excited to introduce. So let us reclaim, ignite, strengthen, and evolve with our guest, Dr. Joe Vitale. Dr. Joe Vitale is the globally famous author of numerous best-selling books, from The Attractor Factor to Zero Limits. He has appeared in dozens of movies, most notably The Secret. He's considered one of the top 50 most inspiring speakers in the world. He's also a musician with 15 albums to his credit, And I believe he just bought a new guitar, another one. So he is the host of the hit ETV show Zero Limits Living. And I'm so delighted to speak to Dr. Joe Vitale about the miracle, where he will share with us two kinds of miracles. And so let's welcome to the stage Mr. Fire. Hello, Dr. Joe Vitale.
Hello, great to see your beaming face.
I am so excited to have you here. I know a lot of our guests, they're all saying, hello, Dr. Joe. Hello, hello. So they are all excited to see you here as well. And I really wanted to dive in. And, you know, you've had an amazing journey from homelessness to success, which is really well known. I mean, I've heard you talk about it again and again. And could you share some pivotal moments or and like strategies that help you transform your circumstances to help you rise, which is what we're doing here this week, rising above our circumstances?
Well, first of all, thank you for the honor of being here and inviting me to share in this experience and help as many people as we can. I support you in doing that, and I greet everybody here. I'm sure they're from all parts of the world, and all time zones are being represented at this point. So I just want to say I'm honored and I'm flattered to be here at all. My story, rags to riches, I guess. No overnight success, unless you define overnight as about 3.5 decades. I did decide that I wanted to be an author when I was a teenager, way back in the 1960s, but it was a long, hard journey. And I was constantly reading books, always from the public library. Thank the world for libraries. That's where all the wisdom is stored, and it's free for anybody that'll walk in and open the books. I did that on a regular basis. I would say if there's any secret to my success, as I look back over the struggle, the many dark nights of the soul, decades of just moving forward and trying everything that I could think of, and going through homelessness, going through poverty, and finally getting published and then slowly building some sort of momentum and success. I boil down the main secret to one thing, and that one thing is persistence. Persistence. And I point it out because it's available to all of us. And I openly confess there were plenty of mornings that I got up and didn't think I'd get through the day.
Yeah.
And there were plenty of moments where I wanted to end my life because it was too hard. It was too much of a struggle. It was too uncertain. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't see any light, but I would get up and keep moving forward. And I think persistence is the common denominator, and it's available to all of us. So whatever your dream is, whatever it is that you're trying to rise to or to create or manifest or attract, you got to get up every day and keep doing something in that direction of fulfilling the dream. Keep doing that, and one day you look back, and I can look back now. I'm in my 70s. I can look back, and I've written 90 books. Now, if you fly back in time to the 1960s when I say, hey, I'm going to be an author, no way would I ever say I'm going to write 90 books. That would have been an impossibility. I couldn't even conceive of it. But by constantly, again, persisting, moving forward, writing, at some point you stop and you look back and go, wow, I did 90 books. Or you mentioned music. I did 15 albums. I didn't set out to do that, but persistence.
And you know what? You're the first person that I've heard say that. And I love the fact that you do say that, because that's what got me to where I am today as well, was just because I've always been persistent. And I've even been told, people, you're just so persistent, right? You don't give up. And no matter how many no's you get, and I'm sure, Dr. Joe, you've gotten so many no's, but you push through it, right? And you just keep that dream alive of whatever you want in your life. And before we talk about creating miracles, even more miracles, bigger miracles, can you explain how we can use law of attraction? Because this is all about attracting things to ourselves.
Right.
And because I think there's an inaccurate understanding of this concept.
Yeah, that's an important question because a lot of people think all I have to do is state my intention, which is definitely part of the formula, and that's actually
Right.
the first part. And then they want to visualize it and maybe make a vision board, which is all part of it as well. But they leave out some of the most important steps, one of them being action. Action. I'm pausing because I really want this to sink in. We live in a co-creative universe. Co-creative means you have something to do. You can't just say, I'm going to be an author, or I'm going to be a musician, or I'm going to open a business, and then sit there and wait for something to happen. My example is if I go back in time and just in the 1970s, for example, say, I'm going to be an author, but I never went to the typewriter, which is what I was using back then, I would have nothing to show. We wouldn't be here now. I would be one of those dreamers walking around mumbling, hey, I'm going to be an author someday. I had to go to the typewriter and actually start typing. And I still do it today, only I'm using a keyboard and I'm using an iMac or an iPhone or an iPad or something along those lines. So I would say when it comes to the law of attraction, yes, know what you want. You have to start there. No wind serves your direction unless you know the direction you want to go in. And then from there, you can start to take action. And what action? That's always what people ask me. What actions do I take? I tell them you take whatever the baby step is that's right in front of you. I quote Teddy Roosevelt, who said, do what you can with what you have right where you are. It's far simpler than most people make it out to be because most people go, okay, the law of attraction, I know what I want now. Let's see the universe bring it to me.
Yeah.
The universe will meet you part way. You've got to start the ball and start moving. And this is where action and persistence. And I think it was Jack Canfield who pointed out that even in the word attraction, there's the word action right there.
Yeah.
It's in attraction. It's like there's a clue that you have to take action. And if there were any criticisms about The Secret, one of the most common ones about the movie was it didn't talk about taking action, even though I'm the one in the movie saying you have to take action. People glossed over, they fogged out, they didn't want to hear it. And I'm saying, look, I'm giving you these secrets to success. Know what you want, take action, be persistent. Universe will meet you part way. Yes, there's sub steps and more insights, but that alone will get you down the road and get you closer to manifesting what you want.
Yeah, I truly believe that. And there's so many nuggets that you just, great nuggets that you just gave. And I feel like we all do have a responsibility to take action for ourselves. Right. And yeah, there's miracles. There's tons of miracles. And we're going to talk about that. You've been teaching people over 35 years how to attract. So there is a lot of success in what you've been doing and teaching. And you shared that there's two types of miracles. What are they?
Yeah, I've been specializing in miracles. In fact, my t-shirt says expect miracles, and there's a sign behind me that says expect miracles. And it's what I get on the soapbox and tell people because most people are walking around expecting crap to happen. I've seen bumper stickers that are far more vulgar than that, going, what do you get what you expect? This is another rule of thumb. You get what you expect. And if you're expecting crap to happen, you're going to manufacture it. You're going to attract it. You're going to experience, and you're going to scratch your head and go, why is that happening to me? It's because of your perception. So I'm putting out there, expect miracles. Let's shift what you're looking for. When you start to expect miracles, you go in that direction, which is another principle of the law of attraction. What you focus on is expanding. So you're going to bring more of it to you. And yes, I've written a book about miracles. It's called The Miracle. I have a coaching program called Miracles Coaching. I wear billboard t-shirts that say expect miracles. So I'm doing my best to get the message out there. What is a miracle? Yeah, that's the question is, what is a miracle? And I say there's two kinds. There's two kinds of miracles. The first kind is what everybody's looking for, and that's when there's a sudden appearance of something. There's a breakthrough of some sort. There's unexpected income, an unexpected bolt of lightning that gives you new news. There's an unexpected inspiration. There's a chance meeting and you suddenly know your soulmate that you've been looking for forever. These are real miracles, and they seem like it because they are unexpected. They just come out of the blue. You could call them a coincidence, but if you're smart, you'll say it's at least a synchronicity where the universe and you lined up. And in that moment, aha, there's a miracle. And I can narrate those and talk about those that have happened to me and other people. But there's a second miracle. And the second miracle is actually better. It's better because the second miracle is right now. It's the present. And I know most people are going, yeah, that's cool, Joe, but I'm looking for something else. I'm like, nope. If you can be in this moment and fully present, it's called a present because it's a present to you. If you can be in this moment and be totally present here, you start to realize that this is the only thing that's real. Past is absolutely gone. And even when you remember it, science is recently pointing out you don't remember it accurately. And so what you're remembering and wishing the good old days were back, they weren't good back then. And you were complaining about it back then, and you're not even remembering it clearly from that experience. And science also says every time you remember a memory, it gets changed and it gets foggier. So you're not remembering anything accurately, and it's gone. And then we sit here and we want the future to be better than right now. The future does not exist. Depending on what you believe, there could be parallel universes, and there's all kinds of things we can get into the mental game of trying to figure out. But our reality right now, we don't know what the next moment is. I got plans for the rest of the day, but the universe may say, nope, you're doing this, or this shift is going to take place, and I'm smart enough to go with that. So all we have is this moment. And when we come in this moment, and we really are aware and alert and grateful, now we're empowered to create something out of this moment. This moment will give birth to those future things that we're looking for and hoping for and wanting. But it only works if we are actually in this moment. This moment is what I'm calling the miracle. In this moment, past doesn't exist, future doesn't exist, all possibilities are here. You can even change the past and you can change the future here. This is the miracle, folks.
And you know what, Dr. Joe, it is a miracle. Like all of these people who are here live and all of these people who are in our Zoom room, this is a miracle being right here with you. And I know they are all present and taking it in and resonating with
good
because they do feel like it's a miracle.
Right. Well, it is. This is the only moment that counts.
I love it. So is that what mental time travel is about? Like, what is this mental time travel system that you talk about?
Yeah, that's my new program. It's at mentaltimetravelsystem.com. It's a way to help people be empowered in the moment. And in order for them to be empowered in the moment, there's a couple of things that need to happen. One is we need to change our view of the past.
Yeah.
We can't actually change the past. We don't even remember it anyway, and it doesn't exist anyway. But we have a story about the past. And that story is probably hindering us right now. If we really want to rise, if we really want to attract a new reality or a preferred reality, what we have to do is let go of the baggage from the past and use the energy that has been stuck in those memory banks to be utilized in this moment. So what we're doing, first of all, is mentally time traveling to those key moments where we made decisions. And those decisions might have been, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, I'm not lucky, works for everybody else, doesn't work for me. I wish my parents had done something different, or my neighbors, or me. And all of that lack of forgiveness, lack of releasing the stuck energy is holding us in a cage. It's a mental cage, but it's in the past, that memory bank, and we want to free it. And what I've learned with this whole mental time travel system is you can mentally, science proves this, backs it up. I got all of this evidence in my program. You can go back mentally and rewrite the story. Since you're not remembering it accurately anyway, why not go back and pretend you're Ray Bradbury or Rod Serling or whoever your favorite fiction author is and rewrite that story that actually empowers you. And this causes a change in perception. where you can look at the past and go, you know what, it was actually great. And because of whatever happened there, I gained a new insight, I gained a new strength. Bring that to this moment, the moment where the miracle is. And out of this moment, you can now create a future based on what you do in this moment. And that's where the other half of the time travel system comes in, because you mentally go to the future and ask yourself, how do you want it to be? How do you want your future self to appear in the world? How do you want that to be created? Because you will attract it and you will manufacture it by the actions you take in this moment. Again, the miracle is now, the point of power is now. And when you use the mental time travel system, you can go in both directions. You're playing with memories and future possibilities, but you're playing with them in this moment. So the more you free that power, the past energy, and rewrite the story, the more empowered you are now. The more empowered you are now, you've got all of your energy to create a future that is in your wildest imagination. Actually, there's no limits at that point, which is my philosophy and my speculation and my examination. I'm looking, do we have any limits? And I'm coming to the conclusion we don't. The only limits we have are the ones we go in our head, that's a limit. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just your belief. Maybe it's just your statement that's actually the limit. So anyway, this is fascinating stuff, but it's in freeing and it's empowering, and it helps people rise to the new you.
I love it, because now you played around with the time machine, right?
Right. I did. I've been fascinated.
I want to know your experience from that.
Oh, goodness. You're going to get me excited, and I'm going to go down all kind of rabbit holes.
I love time machines.
Oh, cool. Well, a time machine. First of all, there was the famous book, The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. It was turned into a movie in 1960 with Rod Taylor. I saw it when I was probably 8 years old. So I saw the movie on TV, black and white, time machine, and I was fascinated. I believe, I'm a little kid, right? I believe there's time machines and there's time travel. So I went in the garage and I tried to build one out of a lawn chair, a pillow, and I don't know, garlic strands, whatever was in the garage that my father had in there. I was like, I'm going to take this lawn chair. I need a chair. And I'm going to put all this different stuff in it. I'm going to sit in it. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go there, but I never forgot that thrill and that excitement. And whenever there was a new movie, like they had redone the movie, The Time Machine, I got into it. And again, mentally was thinking, is time travel actually possible? Then I started researching all the different books and the scientific evidence. And guess what? It is possible. And some scientists have gone into the future by only a couple seconds, but they went to the future and then reported on it. And then I don't think you can see it behind me, but there's actually a small time machine that is a miniature replica of the one that was used in the 1960 movie. I had this on my desk, and this is where my whole mental time travel system came into being. I had the time machine on my desk, and then I mentally sat in it. And then I mentally thought, okay, I'm actually in a time machine, and this has a dial on it. I can go back. I was born in 1953, so I thought I'll go back to around 1960. I go back to 1960, and I started to play with new possibilities. Like the little kid in 1960, I wasn't particularly happy, but the adult version, now sitting in the time machine, going back to 1960, can look at it differently.
Yeah.
I could see the good in what my parents were doing and my father was doing. And at that time, there was a different time period. People were doing things differently and raising their kids differently. Mm-hmm. I was part of that. But going back from in my 70s to then, I could rewrite the story. Then I go back and sit in the time machine again and going, well, I went to the past. Let's see what happens if I go to the future. And in the future, I've created a world for Joe that is spectacular. And now that I have the vision, because I mentally went to the past and mentally went to the future, I come back to the time machine. I get out of it. I'm sitting here in present reality, and I make all my notes. Like I have notes for what I'm doing today. You're on the first thing here. And then all the other things that are that are moving me, action steps, moving me in the direction of creating and manifesting and materializing the vision I had while sitting in the time machine going to the future.
Ah,
This is available to all of us. I'm simply using my mind and my imagination. And the time machine just happens to be the, I don't know, the trigger or the anchor or the device that's useful to me.
and we can all do that. And you know what?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's I don't know if you've ever been to Wakingham, England, but
No.
if you ever go there, supposedly there's these elevator doors in a car park in England. And basically, you get in this elevator, you go to another time period, but the mechanics are unknown. So I don't know if it's real or not.
I'm going. I'm going to look it up. I want to go there.
It's in Wakingham, England.
I
So
like the name because it sounds like you're awakening to a new possibility. Wakingham.
I know. Oh, that's
Very
awesome.
cool.
So exciting. So okay, so now most people, so here's the thing, like most people are afraid to travel to the past because the past can be very traumatizing or they don't remember, right? So do we really need to bring it back? Number one, if we don't remember, but would you say that it really can help tap into what we want to create in the future and what you describe as the 15, I believe? What is that?
Yeah, these are 15 principles that have come from my exploration of the mental time travel system. And first of all, well, one of the principles, because I have it in front of me right here so I can see them. I knew you were going to ask sooner or later. And one of them about is number 7. You cannot change the past, but you can change your perceptions of the past. And so what that is a reminder, and I touched on this a little earlier, that yeah, we've all gone through some things that we would consider to be dark or in some cases very traumatic. And you may need a therapist to guide you depending on what took place there. The point of the mental time travel system and that 7th concept is that the past is open to interpretation now. You can look at this as an adult looking back at what took place and be empowered from it. You can actually rewrite it. Instead of being an experience that turned you into a victim, it could be an experience that helped you gain a new strength. And in fact, this is just one way to look at it. But if there was something that took place and you felt like a victim in that, there's probably a whole lot of people in the world who have gone through something similar. If you can be the voice that rises up and say, I went through it, I survived it, I'm now on the other side of it, that can help empower you and it can help inspire a whole lot of the world. So this is a way to just look at the past and free yourself from it. I think this is profoundly important. There have been a lot of teachers, including Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer had said at one point, if there's any block in what you're trying to attract in your life, there is a lack of forgiveness for something that took place in the past. And very often it's a lack of forgiveness for yourself. And so however you look at the past, you have to forgive other people and you have to forgive yourself, which frees you to be empowered and rise to the occasion in this moment, the miracle.
Yeah. So if you were to go back and change anything in your life, like if there was one thing that you can change, and I know you've been going back and forth and back and doing all that, but you know, besides just changing and seeing the good, like was there an event that you were like, you know, you just couldn't forgive or you had a hard time getting past? How did you take that step to forgiveness? Like how much strength did it take from you?
Yeah, what a great question. And you're probing deep. This is like a therapy session right here. And I'm going to be very transparent with you because I don't think I've been asked this particular question in this particular way. But let me just be raw. I felt like I was deeply abused growing up. My father was an ex-Marine, ex-prize fighter, had too much testosterone, came from 1925 through the Great Depression, so he was scarred in different ways and behaved in different ways than you and I would today. He came from a different time period. But I was a little kid in his hands, and he could be very physically abusive, overbearing, very loud. And for a little kid who looks at their parents as you're my salvation, you're my survival, you are everything to me. I don't live without you. It creates intimidation, it creates resentment. You don't know it as a little kid, but as you're growing and looking back, I ended up hating my father. Hated my father. When I finally left, and one of the reasons I became homeless was I left Ohio, which is where I was born and raised, ended up in Texas, which was a boom town back in, or a boom state back in the 70s, but very quickly ended up with nothing. And I was literally on the streets and living in the public library in Dallas. And I could have gone back to Ohio and to my parents. I refused to. I'd rather suffer. That's how bad it was. I would rather starve and die on the streets than go back because I did not forgive him. And I did not forgive him for almost 10 years.
Wow.
During those 10 years, what's going on with me? 10 years of poverty, homelessness, and poverty. I was in poverty for 10 years. Why? Well, I can look back now in my 70s and say a whole lot of it was I did not forgive. I had that chain, that prison, and did not know it was chaining and imprisoning me. It didn't touch him. It touched me. Now, as I continued to work on myself, and remember, we didn't have wonderful people like you. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have shows like this. We didn't have a lot of things we take for granted today that could be support. We didn't have coaching unless it was little league coaching or football coaching. We didn't have a lot of that. And even if we did, I couldn't have afforded it at that time. So I'm reading books. It's a good thing. I'm trying to apply it on myself. And I kept coming across the concept of forgiveness. And I wrestled with it. It really was difficult to get to the point of thinking, excuse me, that I could forgive him. It was just too big. It was too hard. It was too painful. Then I started to realize, wait a minute. It started to dawn on me. I started to get a new interpretation. When he had me, he was probably 25 years old, 25. And about the time I was realizing this was about I was 25. And I'm going, he didn't know how to raise a kid. He didn't know how to be a parent. He's winging it. He's absolutely winging it. And he had just come out of the Marine Corps, which at that time, the Marines were different than what they were today. I mean, you're talking about scary and abusive there. And he comes out, and what does he do? He raises his kids like they're Marines. I started to get this understanding that made me aware that I didn't approve of how he raised me, but I started to understand it. And with understanding got me closer to forgiveness. And I decided, you know, he could have threw me in a garbage can when I was a little kid. But he actually raised me, took care of me, fed me. And so I started going back, and we've developed a better relationship. And I was with him. Actually, when he was 90 years old, I turned him into an author.
Wow.
I had told him he was telling stories all the time about his life. I said, Dad, you ought to record those. Well, he did. And one day I got a box of cassettes with all these stories that my father had recorded. So I had them transcribed, edited, put into a book form. And on his 90th birthday, I said, hey, Dad, remember all those tapes you sent me? Well, I turned them into your autobiography. Happy birthday.
What a gift.
I'm still speechless because he was speechless. He felt it. And that was kind of like my greatest gift to him and my way of saying thank you. And it was something he never in his 90 some years imagined ever happening, ever. And he lived to be 93, and I was with him most of the time.
Wow. So, talk about forgiveness. I mean,
yeah, it's huge.
What a gift of forgiveness. I mean, that truly showed him, and I could feel it in his heart as an empath, like how much, you know, and sometimes our parents don't cry in front of us, but I know that was so heartfelt, and like knowing that you forgave him, right? Like his soul felt it.
Yeah.
And so you said there was a key thing that you said was understand, because a lot of times we don't understand. We blame our parents for everything because my kids do it all day long. And so, right. You know, we don't understand. And if we can come from that space and just have a little bit of understanding, I think we can easily find that key to forgiveness. And so thank you for really emphasizing that and sharing that. That was very deep.
Well, that was very transparent on my part because I've never told that kind of a raw story or at that length. So thank you for letting me share. And I hope that that helps people. When I say understanding, there's a phrase that's been around, walk a mile in another person's shoes, because, you know, there, but for the grace of God, go I. Meaning that everybody has gone through a different life experience. They had different education, they had different life experiences that they made different conclusions from. And so their operating system, their way of looking at the world is different than yours and mine. In fact, there's 8 billion some people here, and I really believe there's 8 billion some planets, because each one of us is a separate universe, having our own beliefs create our own reality. And as long as we have some things that match up, we all get along pretty good. But when we start to get into the nitty gritty, we find out that person thinks different than me.
Yeah.
With a little understanding, we can come to the conclusion they think differently because they had a different life experience.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. We all have our own universe, and I feel like now it's time to take control of our universe and rise. And so, Dr. Joe, what are you working on now? I know you just came out with a new book, and I already pre-ordered it. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the new book is called Zero Limits Living, Zero Limits Living. And I think the website zerolimitslivingbook.com, but it's at you can pre-order it right now. It'll come out in July. And I'm very excited about it. So what else do I have going on? I got my own movie in production right now. It's called Zero Limits, and it really is based on what I brought to the world with Ho'oponopono, which was first described in that book, Zero Limits. So I have a movie called Zero Limits. It'll probably be out the end of the year, early 2025. And of course, I have that new book, Zero Limits Living. I have my show, which is called Zero Limits Living. And I'm on an exploration to find out, do we actually have any limits? And my suspicion is we don't. The only ones we have are the beliefs that we just fuel with repetition and without questioning them. And I have another book that I'm working on that shouldn't surprise anybody because I got like 15 book ideas here. And I'd like to get back into music. Music stopped when the pandemic kind of shut us down.
Yeah.
And my band didn't get together to do anything live. I made 15 some albums in a 10-year period. And I'm now with Lisa Winston, who was a singer for 40 some years. And it would be cool to go in and have her just kind of do that wonderful voice singing of hers. And I come up with some lyrics and some songs and things like that. I don't know. I was just invited to be the president of the Napoleon Hill Institute.
Wow.
And I was just told that I'm receiving the U.S. President's Award for Lifetime Achievement. And I just got from the Los Angeles Tribune the Lifetime Achievement Award from them. I mean, if you give me enough time, I'll just narrate all these different things happening and going on.
Oh, it's amazing. Amazing what you're creating. Your second chakra is on fire, just like you. So I just love it. Love it. You keep creating because you know what? Because through you, we are so inspired. And I know many of you might want to come and join us in the Zoom room. So there is a VIP access that will allow you to talk to Dr. Joe Vitale. We are going to stay a little bit after. And then we also have music with Mark Romero. So he is going to be joining us today. So we have another hour. We are up on our time today. And I want to thank all of you. We are going to put the Zoom link, the VIP offer in the Facebook group if you'd like to join us in the Zoom room. And also, let's see what else. Tomorrow we have some amazing guests coming up. And any final words, Dr. Joe? Even though you gave us so many or quotes,
yeah,
any final
well, I don't want to think of them as final words. I'll think of them as some thoughtful, inspiring words.
Yes.
And that is to go for your dreams. There's something in each of us nudging to come out. It wants to be created. And my view is that is actually a divine assignment. That dream, that urge that is wanting you to rise up and fulfill, that is a divine assignment for you personally. And what I'm urging people to do is breathe life into it, acknowledge it, accept it, confirm it, and start taking actions to create it, because anything is possible.
Thank you. And where can we get your link to, I believe we have your link to the mental
Yes,
time travel.
mentaltimetravel.com. Mentaltimetravel.com.
Perfect.
Thank you
All
for
right.
to do that.
Yes, of course, because I know we all want to travel. I definitely do. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure and honor to have you with us today. I know our audience is ready to connect with you back in the Zoom room. So I want to thank everyone for being here today. And let's look forward to another beautiful day tomorrow with our speakers. We start at 11 a.m. Eastern, going all the way to 2 p.m. And I can't wait to see you all there.